They say the first child is a blessing. What they don't say is that sometimes the first child becomes the investment. My name is Clara, and for most of my life, I wasn't a daughter. I was a resource. I don't remember when responsibility started. I only remember that it never stopped. At 10, I packed lunches. At 12, I babysat while my friends went to birthday parties. At 15, I skipped school trips because money was tight, and somehow, it was always tight when it came to me, but never tight when it came to everyone else. Clara understands. Clara is mature. Clara doesn't need much. I learned to shrink my needs so theirs could grow. When I got my first job, I thought I had finally earned something for myself. My own money. My own choices. But the night I brought my first paycheck home, my father sighed. The electricity bill is overdue. I didn't even think. I'll take care of it. And just like that, I did. And I kept doing it. Rent. Tuition. Medication. Car repairs. If something broke, I fixed it. If something was missing, I filled it. If someone needed saving, it was always me. But here's where everything changed. One weekend, I came home from work exhausted. The house was empty. I checked the family group chat. Photos. My parents smiling at a beach resort. My siblings laughing at a restaurant. Drinks in hand. New clothes. Vacations. And do you know what hurt the most? No one invited me. But that same night, my brother texted, "Hey sis, can you send some money?" I'm short. I stared at that message for a long time. They could afford vacations. They could afford new outfits. They could afford celebrations. But somehow, they couldn't afford independence. They only couldn't afford things when it was time to ask me. That night, something inside me shifted, not anger, clarity. I wasn't the backbone of the family. I was the convenience. The real twist came 2 weeks later. It was my birthday. No dinner. No cake. No message until 9 p.m. But earlier that same day, they posted pictures at my cousin's party, all of them together, smiling, celebrating, without me. I had paid for that party, and they didn't even remember I existed. That was the moment. Not a scream. Not a fight. Just silence. And a decision. That night, while everyone was asleep, I packed a suitcase. Not dramatically. Not angrily. Just calmly. I had already opened a savings account months ago, quietly. Money they didn't know I had stopped giving. I found a small apartment across town. By morning, I was gone. When my phone started ringing, I didn't answer. Then the messages came, "Where are you? Why would you leave like this? How could you do this to us?" And for the first time in my life, I laughed. Because how could I do this to them? How could they not see what they had done to me? The real shock? The world didn't collapse. The bills got paid. The vacations stopped. My siblings got jobs. My parents adjusted. They were capable all along. They just never had to be. Because I was there. Months later, my mother came to see me. She stood in my small apartment, looking around quietly. "You seem happy," she said. And for the first time in my life, I didn't feel responsible for her feelings. "I am," I replied. She nodded. And I think that's when she finally understood. I wasn't the strong one. I was the one who never had permission to be weak. Now, I choose myself, and that is the strongest thing I have ever done.